It's the holiday season, but some evil force is doing its best to spoil the mood. No one knows what this force is or why it's ruining the holidays. That's when Detective Robinson comes into play. Help him crack these riddles to save the day. The first task brings the detective to the North Pole. Someone has been stealing Santa's cookies, which he keeps in the reindeer stables. Santa suspects that the criminal is one of his elves who works there, but he's also worried because all of them are allergic to chocolate, and the disappearing cookies are chocolate chip ones. Detective Robinson gathers all the elves in one room. One of them keeps sticking out his tongue and then blushing and apologizing. The second elf has traces of something brown on his hands. And the third elf keeps smiling and giggling. Look at them attentively and try to figure out which one is the thief. The guy with the brownish spots on his fingers works in the stables, so no wonder his hands are dirty. Elves are cheerful creatures, which means that a smiling and giggling elf is not actually an unusual occurrence. But the first elf, his tongue is likely swollen as a result of an allergic reaction. Here's our cookie thief. 3 teenagers sneak into Santa's home. When he comes home after work, he sees 3 guilty-looking kids and his 20-foot-tall plastic Christmas tree lying on the floor. Santa knows that one of the kids must have climbed the tree, which made it fall over. He calls our detective. Chris immediately arrives. After looking at the kids attentively, he tells Santa who is guilty. Can you figure it out too? This guy with green hair looks as if he has some Christmas tree needles in his hair. But don't forget that the tree is plastic and can't lose any needles. The guy on the left has a star on his sweater that looks like the one at the top of the tree. But look, it's embroidered. Now, look at this girl with a pretty sparkly scarf. It looks suspiciously similar to tinsel decorating the Christmas tree. That's because it is tinsel. Busted! While the detective and Santa are away, solving the mystery of the overturned Christmas tree, someone steals all the presents from Santa's warehouse. After investigating the case, Detective Robinson has 3 suspects. All of them are elves. Each of the elves claims he was at home when the crime happened. The road is impossible to navigate on foot since it's been snowing for the last several hours. So, whoever did this had to use a sleigh. Can you help Chris figure out who the criminal is? This elf looks pretty angry, but it might be because his sleigh is broken. It means he couldn't have left his home. The sleigh of the elf on the right is covered with a thick layer of snow. It's unlikely that he used it recently. But look at the sleigh of the elf in the middle. There's snow under it. It means that the sleigh was parked near the house after the snow had already started falling. The elf wasn't at home, so why is he lying? One of Santa's elves put the key to the warehouse where Santa keeps presents into an empty bottle and plugged it with a cork. Detective Robinson needs to remove the key without breaking the bottle or pulling out the cork. How can he do it? Chris pushed the cork inside the bottle and shook the key out. Detective Robinson's next task is unusual to say the least. He needs to go to a haunted gingerbread mansion and face one of 3 horrifying monsters. They've taken up residence in the tasty but currently unapproachable house. Chris's potential opponents are 1. A 7-foot-tall reanimated Christmas turkey. It's threatening the detective with knives and looks extremely unfriendly. 2. A scorching hot eggnog monster that looks like a moving pile of slime. 3. Or a menacing-looking 8-foot-tall candy cane creature with long, sharp limbs? Help the detective make the right choice. The turkey can be very dangerous with those knives. The candy cane monster's limbs are too sharp to come close to it. As for eggnog, besides being very hot, it doesn't pose any serious danger. The detective just needs to push the monster towards the gingerbread wall and it will absorb the creature very fast. Santa has an unusual problem. One of his elves has just had his birthday, but Santa can't remember how old he's turned. The elf doesn't want to make the task easier. He says,
"The day before yesterday, I was 34. The next year, I'll be 37.
It sounds strange, but the elf hasn't made any mistakes in his calculations. Santa definitely needs Detective Robinson's help. The elf's birthday is on December 31st, and he's talking about it with Santa on January 1st. The day before his birthday, he was 34. The next day, he turned 35. A new year started the next day. This year, he's going to turn 36, and he will be 37 the following year. No day without an accident. One young elf decided to play a prank on Santa and hid the presents behind one of these two doors. Detective Robinson knows that one of the doors hides a very unfriendly dragon, and behind the other, there are presents. He needs to pick the right door, otherwise the holiday is spoiled. There are two signs on the doors. One of them is a lie, and the other is true. On the first door, it's written, "The presents are here. The dragon is in the next room." The other sign says, "The presents and the dragon aren't in the same room." Can you help the detective figure out where the presents are? The presents are in the second room. The second statement is true, which means that the first one is false. After a long working day, Santa comes home and finds out that someone has broken all the glass decorations on his Christmas tree. He's shocked and upset. He calls Detective Robinson and tells him he has two suspects. One of them is one of his reindeer. Santa saw him near his house 2 hours ago. The other suspect is an elf Santa scolded. Look at the scene and help the detective determine the criminal. Look at the footprints the criminal left on the floor. They're too big and don't belong either to the deer or the elf. They actually look like they belong to Santa himself. But why would he need to frame his workers? This case makes Detective Robinson very suspicious. He starts observing Santa. Soon, Santa invites him for dinner and offers him 3 dishes to choose from. Since Chris is already wary of Santa, he examines the dishes very attentively. Look at them and say which dish is safe to eat. These chocolate chip cookies look fine until you notice that these chocolate chips are actually bugs. The steam rising over this bowl of soup is suspiciously green. This dish is likely poisoned. The only safe option is apples. Look at this tiny worm. If it can munch through the apple, it's most likely okay to eat. So, does it mean Santa wanted to get rid of Chris after the detective started to suspect something? This Santa can't be the real one. After Detective Robinson finds out that the mysterious evil force spoiling the holidays has been the fake Santa all along, he starts searching for the real Santa. Soon, he comes across a basement with 3 doors. Behind each of them, there's a man dressed as Santa and claiming to be the real one. Look at them attentively and try to figure out which Santa is real. It's Santa on the left. Hopefully you paid attention to the photo on the wall. It depicts Santa with his reindeer. If we compare the photo with all Santas, only the one on the left is absolutely the same.
That's it for today. So hey, if you pacified your curiosity, then give the video a like and share it with your friends. Or if you want more, just click on these videos and stay on the bright side.
A new phase of superheroes and villains is on the rise. Oh, you think you know them all, huh? I see. Well, how about we test that? With emojis, of course. They're the new form of communication anyway. You will have 5 seconds to guess each comic character. And before you ask, they will be from all universes, so you have to be a real pro to answer them all correctly. Just saying. You'll get 1 point for every correct answer. Write down your scores to see how well you did at the end of the quiz. Grab your cape and let's begin. We'll start easy. Who is this character? He's the genius billionaire philanthropist Tony Stark, aka Iron Man. Duh. Another simple one to get you in the groove. Some of us are dog people and some of us are cat people. Selena Kyle is definitely the latter, since she's the Catwoman and all. How about these emojis? He's the metallic-skinned galactic traveler, Silver Surfer. Do these emojis ring any bells? He's Black Panther, the king and protector of Wakanda forever. I think this one emoji says everything. How about you? He's the criminal mastermind clown with a dark sense of humor, Joker. Can you tell the character from these emojis? He's the king of dreams and the ruler of the nightmare realm, Morpheus, the Sandman. But you know what? If you still said Sandman, but with William Baker, aka Flint Marko, the Marvel Comics antagonist who serves as the enemy of Spider-Man in mind, you still get a point. Come on, you must know who he is from these emojis. He may be just a kid from Brooklyn, but he became the hero of the nation. He's Captain America. What about these emojis? Besides making awesome mixtapes in his free time, he saves the galaxy too. He's Star-Lord. This should be easy. He's your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Can you tell who these emojis refer to? Run, Forrest, run? Nope. Run, Quicksilver, run! Okay, this question comes with a twist. It has 2 answers. Do you know them? They are Ant-Man and the Wasp. These emojis refer to It's not Wanda that comes for you, it's the Scarlet Witch. Which character is the one? Here's a hint from me, you need to think more abstractly to answer it correctly. He's the one who protects the Earth against magical and mystical threats. He's Doctor Strange. Who do these emojis refer to? He is vengeance. He is the knight. He is Batman. What do these emojis tell you? Hot alert, everyone. He's one of the founding members of the Fantastic Four, the Human Torch. Do these emojis ring any bells? She is Poison Ivy, the genius scientist and metahuman with hybridized plant DNA. Which hero do these emojis stand for? She's the Amazon princess, Wonder Woman. What do these emojis refer to? He's none other than the hot-tempered master tactician, Rocker Raccoon. How about this one next? Jean Grey is no more. She is the fire made flesh, power incarnate. She is the Dark Phoenix. Do we have these emojis for hero number 20? She will report for duty even if she's in the middle of an interrogation. Talk about having work discipline. She's Black Widow. Here's another set of emojis for you. He's the man to prove that you can still be a hero with just a bow and arrow. He's Hawkeye. Which hero do these emojis stand for? It's Moon Knight, just your regular multi-personality superhero who serves Khonshu, the Egyptian deity of the moon. That's all. Now, which hero is this? It's the Flash. By the way, did you know the Flash is actually the name of at least 5 different characters who each gained the speed of force? Take a look at these emojis and tell me which hero they refer to. Don't try to challenge him about who can hold their breath underwater the longest, because he would win since he's the Aquaman. Next up, we have these emojis for you. The correct answer is Green Lantern. Green Lantern is actually the name of several superheroes who fight evil with the aid of their rings that grant them powers as cool as the mind can imagine. See what I did there? Which character do these emojis represent? Mutant and proud. It's Magneto, of course. Now, this one will really test your comic book knowledge. Tell me who these emojis refer to. He's John Constantine, the occult detective who does whatever it takes to get the job done. Here's another tricky one for you. Don't be too hard on yourself if you couldn't answer this. It's one of the most underrated and unknown Marvel heroes who doesn't appear in any of the movies, at least yet. But kudos to you if you knew the answer. She's Moondragon, a powerful telepath and a master of martial arts. The way she's different from most Marvel heroes is that she didn't gain her powers through birth or any accidents, but she gained them through extreme mental discipline and focus. Hey, it may be worth a try to follow in her steps. Okay, you deserve an easy one after that. Tell me who this is. He's the one who puts the X into the X-Men. He's Charles Francis Xavier, aka Professor X. Wow, that was a lot of X's. Next up, I have these emojis for you. Another superhero that is based on mythology. He's the Asgardian Thor Odinson. Which superhero do these emojis remind you of? He's Vision, the vibranium-based advanced android who thinks humans are odd. We feel you, man. We feel you. Check these emojis out and tell me who they represent. It's Hulk. He's angry and he's green. But when he's not both of those things, he's smart. Let's do an easy one before wrapping things up. Who is this? I am Groot. Well, I mean him, not me. I'm not Groot. Time to really test you with these emojis. These refer to yet another, not that well-known superhero, Jack of Hearts, who was at one point a regular in Iron Man comics as well as the Avengers comic books. Last but not least, which hero or villain do these emojis represent? The correct answer is Songbird, who actually made an appearance as a supervillain before taking on the role of a superhero in the Thunderbolt series. So it's time to see how well you did. If you have 0 to 7 correct answers, you probably were one of the people who disappeared when Thanos used the Infinity Stones. Well, since you're back now, better catch up, because superhero culture is not going anywhere anytime soon. If you have 8 to 14 correct answers, I bet you were just busy roaming around the galaxy hunting bounties, and that's why you couldn't watch a significant number of superhero movies or shows, or couldn't get your hands on new comic book issues. But I suggest you return to Earth more frequently, because if you continue missing out on things, you may eventually not be able to connect with the people on Earth. If you have 15 to 21 correct answers, you're super in your own way. But you're also trying to juggle multiple tasks, sort of like every teenage superhero who's doing their best to live normal lives. That's if they find time from fighting villains or saving the world. It's the reason why you miss out on things from time to time, but don't worry, you'll get there. If you have 22 to 28 correct answers, you show great potential that S.H.I.E.L.D. has their eyes on you to be recruited. You might get an invitation from Nick Fury himself soon. Or who knows, if you show signs of having superpowers, you can even be trained to join the new Avengers. If you have 29 to 35 correct answers, I kneel before you, O Master. You must have super intelligence to know all this. Or maybe you have telepathy powers and you can read my mind. In any case, no mad scientist can match your comic book genius. I hereby declare you the Sorceress Supreme of the comic verse.
That's it for today. So hey, if you pacified your curiosity, then give the video a like and share it with your friends. Or if you want more, just click on these videos and stay on the bright side.